I always felt that the really meaningful things, the humanity that it just, the shared experience of humanity is where a lot of the magic in living a life is to be found.
Mm,
Um, and, yeah, I try to practice that one every day and with whoever I come across,
yeah.
uh, yeah.
And that's interesting with Intercambio, right? With their different, like you were saying, there's like different languages and cultures there, and it's basically you have these different flavors, but underneath it all is kind of a common humanity.
Yeah, I mean, they have a thing. There's a thing that we do that's really evolving. Actually, I think it's going to also really continue evolving nationally, not just locally, in Colorado. But it's called community conversation, and it's a structured way of bringing people in a community who would like to have conversations with in English with people who want to learn English, and it's such a beautiful thing. It's such a simple idea to get. Recently, the last year and a half, it's been on Zoom, of course, but it started off being in person, and it works in both ways. But just to have a 10-minute, 15-minute conversation with a couple other people, and someone's from Guatemala, someone's from Iran, someone's from America, and you're talking about something, and you're sharing your perspective, which is so influenced by your history, which is so influenced by your cultural context. You just learn so much about one another, both about those common golden threads that run through humanity, um, as 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 well as just truly different perspectives that help everybody just see a little bigger, you know.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it's a beautiful, wonderful thing.
How does that work? Is there like a moderator or like questions that are like suggested questions or
Yeah, yeah, no, they put a lot of thought, and developed, uh, very specific ways of facilitating these sessions. So they're conducted and facilitated by people who've been, trained through the Intercambio way, which so they give all the tools to train and practice and do. So there'll be a facilitator, and then typically what happens is that, everybody comes together either physically or on Zoom, and they first explain what the sessions are going to be like, and then you're broken into separate rooms either in a school or on Zoom, with the chat things or whatever. But you basically spend time with maybe two other people that are the students, and you're given different topics, and uh, yeah, and for if it was just an ESL, English second language, typical class, you say, well, what great practice for English, which is why we do it. Of course, it's great practice for English, but it worked the way that the intercambio way works. There's a whole nother level of cultural exchange,
Mm,
awareness, cultural exchange, where you just, there's this much deeper thing that is happening, um, that just is kind of life enhancing for everybody because you're sharing history and experiences, and you're also making your community bigger because you're getting to know different people in your community,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and it's really special. But yeah, no, it's it's there's a format and a structure, and the people who are kind of conducting it set it up the right way. You do breakouts on your own, but everybody who participates has had a little tiny bit of training, even if it's 1 hour. They give, like, if I signed up and I'm living in Boulder and I just want to attend one of these things, and then the night before I did it, I would be in a kind of a little training session to make sure that I know what to expect, and given some ideas on how to participate. And yeah, it's terrific. It really is. It's really, really special. And